How to get banging UGC videos for your Facebook and TikTok ads. That's what we're going to talk about today. And by the end of this video, you will know the exact process that I use here at my agency to get UGC videos and ads for our brands out there to then be able to leverage them within Facebook and TikTok. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video here on my channel. If it's your first time around, my name is Victor and I am the founder of Victory Media. We help and work with e-commerce brands to scale them to the next level with the help of paid social, but first and foremost with Facebook ads. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about how you can go ahead and source banger UGC ads. We have all known that throughout the year of 2022, UGC ads have become pretty much, almost mandatory for every brand out there. And if you've never heard about UGC ads, which stands for user-generated content ads, then, I don't know where you've been over the last year, but it's been pretty much a hype, So with that being said, I wanted to go and walk you through the complete process in this video on how we go ahead and source our UGC ads and work and collaborate with content creators for our e-commerce brands and for our clients in order to make sure that we can really iterate upon those ad concepts and those different UGC ads and launch several different ad creatives and really make sure that we can leverage it to the fullest with paid social ads and Facebook ads in mind. So let's hop straight into it. So here you are within my computer, and we are quickly going to walk through the complete process of getting banger UGC ads before we can then go into each particular step for you to properly understand it. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do always before even thinking about how or what content creator we have to work with, we are going to do some competitor research. Afterwards, we're going to lay out our different buyer personas to then go into the scripting and ad drafting of like, okay, what are actually the ultimate end ad results that we want to launch within our ad accounts, and how can we get there. Therefore, then afterwards, after we've scripted it out, we've drafted our ads, we're going to do our creator outreach, and then we're going to, as soon as we've found and agreed upon a particular payment structure or whatsoever with different content creators, we're going to then start working with them. We're going to sign the contract, and then we're going to brief those creators, sometimes even hopping on a call with them, but definitely this includes the whole creator brief that we're going to walk through further down the line. And then ultimately we're going to apply or launch those different ad creatives from those content creators within Facebook. So this is the complete process. Now we're going to take a look at each particular step for you to understand what goes into this step and how to really conduct this, from a more micro standpoint. Let's put it that way. So let's go back into my computer, and we're going to talk about how you can conduct each of those steps and really successfully, implement each of this. So you have this complete roadmap, because this is the ultimate goal that I wanted to achieve with this video. Because when I scrolled through the endless amount of videos on YouTube that are talking about UGC ads, none of them was really talking about the particular process that you can follow step by step. Some people were talking only about the UGC brief. Some people were talking about, UGC ads in general, the benefits, and how they've worked for them in their account or for their brand. But none of them has really talked about a complete roadmap. So therefore, I really want to make sure that you get this out of this video, right? So you can understand and implement it tomorrow for your brand or agency. So let's hop straight back into it. Okay, step number 1 is competitor research. And this is something that I do every day, also part and outside of completely of producing or creating UGC briefs. This is something that I do on a daily basis because this is my bread and butter, and this is, in my opinion, it doesn't matter whether you're an agency owner or brand owner, something that you should be doing at least once a week, if not once a day. Taking a look at your competitors, what are they doing, what are they launching, and what is going on within their ad accounts. So you can obviously do that with Facebook's ads library that has been around already for ages and is a great tool for you to properly understand what your competitors are doing. Now, TikTok has also come up with their own library, which is called TikTok Top Ads, where you can not necessarily look up brands, like brands in particular, but you can go ahead and take a look at all the top performing ads you can filter by country, by industry, by optimization, which is something that Facebook's ads library doesn't really have. But in Facebook ads library, which I really like, you can go ahead and actually search by name or by a brand and really take a look at what is this particular competitor doing. Now, if you want to go that extra step, we also have foreplay, which is something that, here my team at my agency really uses the most, to be totally honest with you. They have a really, really cool discovery function right now where I scroll through the ads that have been saved by other brands out there to take a look, okay, what is currently trending, what are people launching, as well as you can discover, ads by brands, right? This is a paid tool. It costs, I think, like $30 per month. But if you really want to take your, competitor research as well as really take your Facebook ads to the next level, man, even if you're just spending a couple $100, per week, I think this is a great tool to have, and $30 is really coming in at a, good price tag, and it's not too overpriced. So those are the 3 tools that I personally use in order to really go ahead and conduct my competitor research, which is Facebook ads library, TikTok ads library, and if you want to go that extra mile, foreplay. So that is the first step. Okay, here we have done already our first step out of this 6-step process. Let's now take a look at the second step for you to properly understand how to lay out and why it is so important to lay out your buyer persona. So the second step in this process is laying out your buyer persona, and that is actually something that we do completely outside of producing and creating UGC ads for our clients, but there is something that we do as soon as we onboard a new client. We want to understand, okay, what are the 3 main personas that go into or that buy with this particular brand, as well as understand, okay, what is their brand all about? What is the key message, right? What are the feature sets and values for the particular product that we are advertising? And as I said, what are the 3 main personas and their reasons to buy? When you go ahead, and if you haven't done so already, either way, it doesn't matter whether you want to get some UGC ads online or not, I would highly recommend you doing that. But either way, especially maybe it is worth revisiting this section or this persona layout when it comes to creating or going out and creating or collaborating with content creators, for you to better understand, okay, what is the brief that I want to get across, and what is it that I want to get out of this content creator, right? For also the content creator to get a better feel of what he or she is supposed to do, what kind of feel should the video have, yada, yada, yada. So we've talked about the first 2 steps, which were more of a general kind of, thinking, let's call it that way. We've talked about it, that you need to research your competitors as well as lay out your buyer personas. But don't get me wrong, this is something that you should have already done. It doesn't matter whether you're sourcing UGC content right now or not, because in my opinion, that is something fundamental that goes into your marketing message and into properly crafting ad copy. So now we're actually going to start with, actually something that you should be doing only for your UGC content. So let's hop into my computer. So here we are within the 3rd step, and this is ad drafting, going ahead and really, laying out your different scenes, your different scroll stoppers that you want to get out of it, based on your persona layout, the particular ultimate end creative that you want to get and that you want to have in mind in order to test within your Facebook ads or TikTok ads account. This is kind of what you already want to lay out before even creating content with the content creator or briefing the content creator, because honestly, your UGC ads are probably only as good as your vision for this ad is going to be, as well as only as good as your brief is going to be. And if you're just throwing something at the wall with your UGC creator and seeing what sticks, I can probably guarantee you that your UGC ads will not perform. Therefore, before you even talk about ad drafting, before you even talk about content creators or kind of what type of what type of content creators you want to work with, first establish what is the script, what is the ad drafting, as well as kind of what you want to get out of that in order to be then briefing your your content creators properly. So we're done with the first 3 steps. We're halfway through, and now it actually comes to the nitty gritty part of really talking to the content creators, negotiating with them the contracts, and really making sure that you are working with the right content creators, because obviously the brief and you really having an idea about what you want to get out of this is key, and probably the most important factor and variable and component that plays into the success and into the end result of your UGC ads. But obviously you will ultimately have to work with content creators, right? And therefore now we're going to talk about how you can outreach to those creators, and how we personally, or how we at my agency reach out to those creators in order to get that banger UGC. So the first one is TikTok Creator Marketplace. Instagram just came up with their own marketplace as well. You can go ahead and activate your account right there if you're eligible for it. I think they're launched in 15 countries or whatever. So that is kind of the first free option where you can go to and have an actual structured approach of what are the creators. Usually you can also get a pretty good overview of what they have been doing, what are the campaigns that they have already been launching, or that they have already created, as well as what are the brands that they've been working with, right? So that is the first approach that you could go for, or the first path that you could go for. The second one is just normal social media, right? This is how I found banger content creators already that are not necessarily doing it in a super business savvy way, but they just kind of have built an awesome audience on TikTok or on Instagram, and they just share their lives and what they're really passionate about. Like here, this account, for example, Golf Guys, right? Where he's just sharing about his daily routine on the golf course, and his yards and how he's putting into that hole, yada yada yada. And then they usually have some type of contact information within their bio. If not, you will just want to shoot them a DM, and this is a great way to also reach out to your content creators. However, there is an obvious con to it. It is a little bit less organized, and you will end up with a lot of no replies. But just send out 50 DMs and or 50 emails to those content creators and see who replies, right? And I've personally gathered some really great content creators through this method. And then last but not least, again, if you want to build and go this extra mile, then I would really recommend you going with a paid tool like Incense. There are a lot more other paid tools for content creator collaborations coming up right now. It's really in trend right now. However, Incense, in my opinion, is a great tool. If you do not even, that is a quick hack right here, if you do not even want to pay for Incense, I think it's like $400 a month in order to properly tap into their complete content creator pool. Make sure that you have your complete communication through Incense, as well as your whole agreement, and everything is kind of going through Incense. If you do not really want to pay those $400, but you still want to tap into that content creator pool, you can actually just sign up with them for a free account, and you have just some limited search abilities, but you can still search their content creator pool and then just reach out to them manually via Instagram or via the email that they have in their bio, right? But really, if you want to scale your content creator collaborations, then I would really recommend you going with Incense, just because it automates a lot of this stuff of hey, sending out 50 DMs and only getting 5 DMs back or something. It really saves you a lot of time, as well as all the functions that they have of keeping everything in one platform, from agreements to legal rights to intellectual property rights to everything along those lines. Incense really facilitates a lot of that. So if you really want to go for 20, 30, even 40 content creator collaborations per month, then I would recommend you going with Incense. If not, then if you just want to test the waters with your content collaborators and with your UGC ads, then make sure to just go ahead and search your hashtags within social media and, go through TikTok Creators Marketplace. So by now you should have found a couple of content creators, reached out to them, gotten a couple of replies, gotten a couple of quotes, and really understand, okay, what are my options right here? Maybe you have a set of 10, 15 content creators that you could hypothetically work with that have agreed upon creating content for you that say like, hey, yeah, I'm interested, and you maybe have to pay $150, $500, whatsoever to get a video from them, and you kind of know their quotes and know your options by now. Then you should go back to the drawing board and really lay out your proper creator brief, okay? Because probably you have a couple of creator favorites, right? Of maybe you have 15 creators at hand that you could hypothetically work with, but maybe you have 5 creators that are kind of more of your preferred creators, right? And I would then go ahead and really lay out the creator brief for those 5 people. So let's hop on my computer and I'll quickly walk you through that UGC brief, but only in a really brief manner, because there's actually another video coming of me just walking you through the UGC brief in particular. So the creator brief is, what you essentially want to get with the creator brief is really make them understand what type of feel you want to get with this particular video and with this particular ad, and make them understand, okay, we actually want to use that as a paid ad. I see a lot of brands out there not really going ahead and actually communicating what they want to get out of that piece of content that the content creator creates. And that is actually something that you really want to avoid. You want to really give them, content creator, a proper overview of, okay, what is it that you're going to use this for, and go down to the T of even creative packaging. The more details a content creator has, the better it goes, right? I really shifted my perspective on that 2 years ago when I really started off. I thought, okay, no, I want to give the content creator the most freedom that he or she needs, and I'm not even going to give him a script, neither a shot list. But honestly, first of all, it's going to be a lot more difficult to properly A and B split test your content creators and your different angles with that. But secondly, also, I've talked with countless content creators since then, and they always say, if a brand comes up to me and says hey, I'm gonna send you product, do whatever you want with it, but we need a video within 7 days, they mostly don't even know where to start really, and this often results in some kind of a shitty content, to be honest. So therefore, you really want to make sure that you have everything laid out to the T. I always give them an exact brief. I tell them, okay, you can go ahead and really maybe adjust this a little bit towards where you think it's a little bit more authentic to you, your account, and the content that you're producing. But I really need you to cover those points, right? And if you think, oh, that's actually a cool script, then just go buy it for it word by word. So that is a content creator brief that you then want to lay out. You want to lay out, everything from client overview, from your brand's overview to, your creative packaging that the content creator needs to submit the project for. Then, kind of just shooting specifications. It has happened to me a lot of times where, I've just gotten some content back with bad lighting, some background noise, and you're like, what the hell? I can't use that. So therefore, really make sure that you have all of that laid out, have a shot list, as well as have a sample script. They can change and amend a little bit of the script depending on how much they like it, but they should have those key points in there. And there we are, already at the last step, right? You have now successfully gone ahead and you've laid out your personas, you've done your competitor research, you've reached out to your content creators, you have already agreed to a brief on them, as well as really make sure that the contracts are signed, everything is laid out, and you've gotten the content back. Now you have had your graphic designers or yourself really plugging those kind of assets together. Important caveat that I haven't really mentioned before. You obviously want to make sure that your content creators are giving you content that is raw, right? They can go ahead, and I sometimes go ahead and have in the agreement, you need to provide one video. But I always have in the contract that they also need to provide the raw clips and scenes for us to be able to shift them and really switch up the timeline as we see fit and as we see the performance going, right? And trending towards, one side, or that we can exchange scroll stoppers, something like that. So you've got that raw content, you've had your graphic designers work on that, you've had, kind of let them execute up on those briefs, and now it's really time to test those, ad creators within your ad account, either on TikTok or on Instagram, and really make sure to get the performance back and then reiterate on those creatives. So, that's pretty much it. That was the 6-step process, and we can walk through all of those, steps again real quick, just for you to have them, already laid out. So the first thing that you want to do is obviously your competitor research. Afterwards, after you've taken a look at what are the other people doing in my niche, you want to lay out your personas, why people are buying with you, why people are, just like generally wanting to buy your product. Then you want to go to the drawing board and really, script and draft your ads first. As soon as this is done, you really go reach out to, let's say, 100 content creators. 15 really want to get back to you and are really eager to work with you. Then you brief them with the shot list, creative specifications, everything like that goes into that. And then you get the content back. You have your graphic designers execute upon the ad drafts and briefs that you've already laid out prior to that. And then, it just goes into the last step of ad creative testing. So that's pretty much it. This is how we go ahead and on a daily basis really, get and source banger UGC content for our e-commerce clients that, want to scale this content and then test this content and those ads within Facebook and TikTok. So this is the 6-step process. I've gone through each step for you to really replicate this and really understand what goes into each step, right? And ultimately, it is not really something that is rocket science, right? It is something fairly simple, but it requires your time. And throughout 2022, we've seen a lot of brands scale based purely on UGC content, to be frank. And this is, I think, in my opinion, a trend that is just going to continue going forward, going into the future, going into 2023. So if you haven't tested any UGC ads, if you haven't sourced any UGC content yet, if you don't have your content pipeline full, then really implement and execute upon that process rather sooner than later, right? And make sure that you are prepared to actually win your Facebook ads in 2023 and complete and get you banger UGC ads to scale your Facebook ads. So with that being said, that's it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Every Thursday, there's coming a new YouTube video of me talking about how to grow your e-commerce brand with the help of Facebook ads and creative strategy. So in case you like this video, hit the thumbs up right below and hit the subscribe button to be up to date with how to grow your, scale your Facebook ads profitably and grow your e-commerce brand. That being said, thank you and see you next week.